I need to know more about this DEA requirement for this opioid training. Can you tell me more about it?
Find out today on Medical History Mysteries, matey.
Hey everyone, welcome to Medical History Mysteries. We are continuing our coverage on this DEA required 8-hour course that we must take in order to renew our DEA licenses. So let's dive right into it. How do we get the training? How do we know that whoever we take this course from is going to fulfill this requirement?
So when the DEA published their original information about this requirement, they did give a list of organizations that would be accredited to provide the coursework to meet the requirement. Subsequent to that initial letter and subsequent to our first podcast on this, Pam, the ADA put forth a document that attempted to address some of these FAQs. And so the ADA, the American Dental Association, offers several courses that would help to meet the requirement. I think even one of the courses is mine. Don't tell anybody. So, which is wonderful, full disclosure. Of course, I'm happy to be a part of it. But one of the things that came up since our last podcast, which I wanted to update the audience on, is in the ADA's FAQ, they state that the DEA has confirmed there is no statute of limitations for past coursework to qualify. I don't know how far back you could go with this. Could you go back 5 or 10 years? Things change in pharmacology all the time. I don't know if I'd want to rest my laurels on a course I took 12 years ago. Now, of course, the good news is if you're licensed in any state that has opioid education requirements, you probably have taken a course recently enough to make it worthwhile. But again, this is from the ADA saying that the DEA said so. I don't know. I love the ADA, don't get me wrong, but I sometimes if it's not straight from the horse's mouth, I'm a little bit concerned. That's all. And in their FAQ, the ADA did publish a couple of links to courses that they do offer that they believe will satisfy the MATE or the DEA's requirement.
As of right now, there's no place that we have to document that or demonstrate that we've fulfilled this requirement, right? So there's no website we have to attest to or anything like that. So would you just say, take the course, save your certification for taking this 8-hour course, and just keep it, safe? So if you need to show it at some point, is that what we're doing?
From the few dentists I've talked to who actually have renewed their DEA certification after this law went into effect, they said all it was a checkbox. So you check the box to say you've met the requirement, you fill out the rest of the information, and then you send in your payment. As far as I know, that's what the ADA also says in their letter. It says, how do I demonstrate compliance? And it says registrants will need to check a box on the DEA registration submission, regardless of whether it's initial or renewal, affirming that they've completed the required training. Now, the ADA does say, please retain copies of all certificates of completion.
All right, so I'm going to play devil's advocate, okay? So I can imagine if I didn't get the 8-hour certification and it's time to renew, there's going to be the little angel and the devil on each shoulder, and somebody's going to check the box and they didn't take it. They'll probably get their license renewed, probably, maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
How are they going to confirm that you have participated in this? Is the checkbox enough? Or are they going to potentially audit you and you could be caught wrongfully checking that box? Let's call it wrongfully, accidentally checking the wrong box.
It's a good question. And it actually showed up on the DEA's FAQ. It says it real clear. How will DEA enforce this requirement? And according to their answer, this is from the ADA, DEA has indicated it does not plan to audit or investigate prescribers based solely on compliance with this training requirement. However, the agency may check for certificates of completion when investigating a prescriber for some other infraction.
Okay, so just take the course. All right. Where can we get more information?
So the good news is that the ADA did give us a lot of information in their FAQ, and they say dentists and dental professionals can email their ADA member service center at MSC, right? So that's Mary, Sarah, Cat at ada.org, and it's available 8 to 5 Central Time. There's also an address at the DEA. That's O like in Oscar, D like in David, L like in Larice, and P like in Pam at dea.gov. And there are phone numbers as well. But the thing is, and I'm sure you know this as a prescriber and as a practitioner, I don't think anyone ever wants to go around picking and poking a state board of dentistry or the DEA asking questions unless they really have to. So I'd probably reach out to the DEA first, because they have become a very readily available and reliable source of information on this.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Everybody, get your information should you need it. If not, just take the course and have your certificate ready just in case anybody asks you for it. Better safe than sorry. And right, knowledge is power. So
absolutely,
there's nothing better than properly prescribing opioids should you decide to do it, so that you can do it safely on the right patients and obviously not contributing to this epidemic that we are currently dealing with. So get your training. I'm going to do mine, and we'll just get it out of the way and move on with our lives.
I've heard there's this character out there named Viola that gives courses on pain management that might meet the requirement, but I don't really know him very well. I've heard he's an okay kind of speaker. Maybe other people can tell me otherwise.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, I know him, and he's better than an okay speaker. So actually, this is an interesting thing, and this is nothing we've ever talked about on Medical History Mysteries. Where can people find you and find your courses so that they can take your courses and learn from you directly?
Anytime you want to reach out to me, you know where to find me. It's tomviola.com, which is as simplistic as I can make the the website's name, because quite frankly, I am simple-minded. So tomviola.com came to mind when I first named my website. It stayed that way. My email address is tom@tomviola.com. But if you go to the website, there is a tab you can click on that says CE, Online CE, where you could take courses for credits. And thank you, Pam, for the opportunity for the shameless plug. I appreciate it very much.
Well, I appreciate you, and I'm sure many of us who need to get this course, especially if we need to get on it quickly, if we need to renew our licenses right away, then this is a great resource for you. So, all right, everybody, for Medical History Mysteries, we will see you next week.
Thanks,
Bye.
everybody.